Well, welcome to the Hamilton County Coaches Show. Today I have Donna Buckley, the head girls basketball coach at Noblesville. Welcome, Coach.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Well, you already have one game this week, okay? Mm-hmm. You traveled to Mount Vernon, which Mount Vernon, one good thing, it's your last away game of the season, right?
Yeah, that is a good thing. Very excited about that.
Yeah, because y'all in the next 4 games are at home. Talk a little bit about that Mount Vernon game. I know I talked to you before the game a little bit, and you felt pretty good about you had a pretty good game plan going in. Let's talk a little bit about the game. Of course, you were led by your 2 seniors, and they had a pretty good game. But let's talk a little bit about that and about Mount Vernon and some of the kids' play.
It was a tough game. We got down early and fought our way back, and then got back down and then fought our way back. The seniors were our leading scorers with 11 apiece, and we just struggled to score as a team. Though honestly, we shot very poorly from the free throw line and just struggled to finish. It was one of those where it felt like, and it was our first day back to school, and I thought our kids had kind of that sluggish carryover into the game. To our credit, like I said, they kept fighting and playing as hard as they could and trying to get themselves back into it. But with our lack of depth, when you get down and you have to fight so hard to get back in, it made for a long night. But Mount Vernon's a good basketball team, and Julie Shelton does such a great job. She's won a lot of games, and her daughter is a sophomore, and she's a good basketball player. We struggled to control her. Like I said, she is a sophomore, averages about 15 a game, and she played really well in that game, and really, like I said, was the difference in the game.
Yeah, and you look, being a sophomore, sometimes you're a little bit inconsistent, even though she's averaging 15 points a game, but she's had some big games this season where she's up in high 20s, and so she can play.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she played well as a freshman against us. They give us fits every year. They play a matchup zone, and we don't see that, so trying to prepare for that is a bit of a challenge. And like I said, they do what they do, and as long as I've known Julie, it's been about 20 years that we've gone against each other. She plays that matchup zone every single time, and like I said, she coaches it really well and takes away the things you want to do. And like I said, her daughter's really good. Julie was a heck of a player. I think she's probably still on the all-time list for about everything at Butler, and like I said, her daughter is definitely following in her footsteps.
Yeah, and of course she left Mount Vernon for a little while and went and coached at Butler, so got in that college game a little bit, which is a totally different game too. Yeah. But I'm sure she didn't like that traveling all the time, and that would be kind of tough once you've been in high school for so many years. She was there 14 years before she...
Yeah, she was in the high school game for a really long time. I remember when she called me and told me she was going to Butler, she said, I don't know if I'm going to stay very long. And she said, but I got to give it a chance. So she did, and like I said, as soon as her daughter got back to high school, I think she figured out that travel. She couldn't miss her daughter playing.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, we got a big game coming up here. Kind of excited for Hamilton County TV, and always exciting for the fans, I think, because it's a girl-boy doubleheader, which, something different that we do, that we only do once a year here, and I think it's kind of cool, and that we do that in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference. I know, do all the teams do that this weekend? I know Southeastern Westfield is that way. Okay.
Yeah, most of the teams play their doubleheader.
And this is the last weekend that everyone's playing in the conference, so everyone is playing in the conference this week, which is the last time with us only having 4 more games. But let's talk a little bit about Zionsville, because you and I talked before we went on the air here. Zionsville's got good size and a very good team. They come in here 13-7.
Yeah, they're very good, and they're very big. Like I said, they've got 3 kids that are 6 foot or bigger, and they'll be a challenge. Like I said, the Richardson sisters are so good. The sophomore's awesome. Like I said, she kind of reminds me of Emily Kaiser, in that she can play inside, she can play outside. She does a little of everything. You get this kid out there at 6 foot 6'1" playing point, and she'll bring it up, and then she'll step inside and be able to do things. She shoots the 3. Her sister's more of a post player, but still really skilled inside and out. And then the Sheridan kid, she's 6'1" as well. They're huge. They really are. They're a big team. Their smallest starter's like 5'7". They're not real deep as a team, but they definitely have good size and good talent.
Of course, all three of those ladies, along with Maddie Nolan, who is out for the season, and their number one leading scorer, and the leading scorer in the history of Zionsville basketball. In fact, broke her mother's record over there, so that's pretty cool. But she's been out all season. But they're still 13-7, and they made a heck of a run for the state championship last year. And all three of those girls that you just talked about played a big part in that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And again, they're still really talented. Obviously, losing Nolan, and I hate that for her. She would be, a kid who could be Miss Basketball this year.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, and again, that's remarkable. She's their all-time leading scorer, missed an entire season. She's just a really, really special basketball player. But even without her, they are very good. Like I said, they have the size and the ability to score inside and out. Like I said, they're very dangerous most nights on the floor against anybody that they play.
Yeah, and they're well coached.
Absolutely. Andy does a great job. He's been around forever, and he does such a great job. And like I said, he's really figured out a way to, like I said, utilize their size, and also, like I said, mix in those guards and to do things that help them be successful.
Well, on the other side here with Zionsville coming up, and like we said, the next 4 are home games, okay, which is a very positive note for possibly you finishing off, on a roll here, going into sectional. Because I don't know about you, maybe it hasn't gone as fast as, but it's been a pretty fast season. I mean, next weekend's a drawing.
Yeah, every season goes fast. It just feels like, again, I don't know if that's me getting old, but I feel like time just goes so fast anymore. But yeah, it feels like you just had tryouts, and all of a sudden here you are. It's senior night. But I tell our kids every year, one of the first practices, I always tell the freshman class, you will not believe how quickly this goes, and you're going to be at your senior night. And Maddie and Mallory and Madison, that's going to be them next weekend. A week from Saturday is senior night for that class, and it goes so fast.
And the one thing about, you just mentioned all three of the seniors, but the injury bugs hit you pretty hard this year too. That among other things, but you lose Emily Kaiser, and then you have the injury bug. I mean, I always this last couple of games when I talk about the Millers, I always mention your walking wounded comes in. You almost got a bigger group of walking wounded than you do players.
That's so true. Sad but true. I've never experienced anything like what we've had this year with injuries, and just kind of weird things that you can't even imagine. Like some 3 ACLs, a concussion. I mean, that's 4 of our top 10 kids that are out, and in addition to that, we've got several of our JV kids that are out with season-ending shoulder and shins and just different things that we've had to kind of improvise and adapt. And like I said, our seniors have done a great job of just kind of guiding us through and being the leaders that we need and playing a lot of minutes. And Abby Haley as well as a junior. I mean, those kids have to play. They
played a lot of minutes.
I mean, and just, you see them, they're walking around in boots, walking boot and stuff to get them through. They're pretty beat up and just trying to, survive.
Because basically, coming in the season, you thought you were in pretty good shape with Ely and Haley, and then Ely goes down, so Abby's playing a lot of minutes now, so that's tough. That's wearing on their body. But I guess if you want to talk about positive things, which you normally do, it's really brought on a couple of sophomores that have got probably a lot more playing time than they probably would have ever got had you not been hit by the injury bug. So talk a couple about those 2 guys.
Yeah, you got to look for kind of the hidden positives there, and that's one that really, especially with Emily Wood and Mallory Miller and McKenna Mundy, those sophomores. Like I said, if you'd have asked me going in, like, well, what's going to be their role? McKenna originally wasn't in the mix, and she's one of those kids who super successful as a soccer kid and just a winner. And she's a kid that when we asked her to come in and practice with us and just get after it and help us, she's done anything and everything we ask. And the improvement in her game has been tremendous, and I love that about her. And again, bright future that, like I said, it's exciting. And then Mallory Miller, Emily Wood. My vision going in was they were going to play 2 quarters JV and 3 with us and bring them along slow. And on opening night, there they are in the starting lineup and playing a lot. And it's just been one of those things. But the growth in them has been tremendous. And again, I think that there are kids that as juniors are going to just really, I can't imagine the leaps and bounds that they're going to grow with, and it's exciting. Like I said, I really can't wait to see what the future holds for them, because I think it'll be really, really special for all of those kids.
Oh, absolutely. And the one thing you could sit in the stands like I do and watch these girls and watch how they've improved over this season. I mean, all three of them are very, very athletic, okay? They work very hard, okay? And they have a good athletic sense. I mean, they know what to do out there, and they take pride in their game. Like you said with Monday, early on in the season, even watching her in JV, coming off playing a lot of soccer, she was not in basketball form, but this last month here, she's given you some valuable minutes that you can count on, and looks very good. And of course, Emily and Mallory have done a great job as sophomores coming in there. They look more comfortable every time they play.
Well, they're just great kids. I mean, on top of just like I said, basketball, they're really, really just work hard, high character, really good kids, and they want to get better. They ask great questions, and they're a kid that how can I already talked to some of them about what are we going to do in the off season to get better. I mean, they're excited. They always want to be working to just be the best that they can be, and that's what's exciting about them. Yeah,
and the one thing about it, because we had a conversation before we went on the air, that they're already coming to you and talking to you about, I need to get my game better and at this spot and that spot, and so they realize that they have some things they need to improve on. Which
I will say this: like, as much as this season with injuries and everything has been a challenge, our kids want to get better. I was talking to my JV coach, and after they struggled in the JV game the other night, one of the freshmen was really upset. And just, it was one of those like, wow, I mean, that's cool that like this kid wants to get better. I hate that she was upset, but I love like they want to be better and they want to succeed. And like I said, our freshman team, actually, they've won 5 games this year, and in 8th grade they won 2. So they're getting there, and they're getting better, and they're getting experiences too, because not only are they playing freshmen, but they have to play JV. So just a lot of opportunities. You have to, again, look for the kind of hidden cool things, and to me those are things that our young kids want to get better. And like I said, our program, despite all that we've kind of had this year, I think we're in really good shape for the future.
Yeah, because here with all the injuries and everything towards the end of the year, in fact this last month and a half, you've had to save quarters for some of those sophomores that you thought would be playing JV all year, to bring them up and maybe have to use them some in the varsity game. So that brings your freshmen up. So there's a lot of times on that in that third quarter or part of in the fourth quarter and part of the third quarter, you got a lot of freshmen out there on the floor playing JV.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we have 2 foreign exchange students who they never played basketball.
Yeah.
And we're like, we'll let you have be part of this and for the experience. And again, they've improved so much. And one of them has started and been a captain for our JV for several games. She just picked up on the game so quickly, and great teammates that help her. And like I said, another one is playing and starting on our freshman team. So like I said, it's really cool just to see these kids want to get better, whether it's a kid, again, you're an exchange student, you don't have to want to get better, you want the experience, and yet here they are working really hard and making themselves the best they can be, and really helping our team. And like I said, our young kids trying to get better every day. And so those are just things that are for me just like make you love coaching.
Yeah, make you want to come in here every day, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, because I know you're preparing for Zionsville now to get ready for tomorrow night. And both of those games, both the girls at 6 o'clock and the boys at 7:30, will be broadcast on Hamilton County TV. I'm going to go by myself on the first game against on the girls' game, because my partner will be doing the announcing, Craig Atkins, so he'll move up in the booth with me the second game for the boys' game and do the play-by-play and broadcast. And it's been fun, and we'll probably be doing a couple more games this season, and of course we'll be doing the sectional. But please try to come out and watch this game tomorrow night, because you're going to see a lot of talented players both on the boys and the girls side, and it's an opportunity to support your school and and what they're trying to do here. And so come on out, but if you can't, check us out on Hamilton County TV. 1.com, and then you can see it on Facebook, you can see it on Twitter, you can see it on YouTube. We got many ways that you can
absolutely.
see Noblesville basketball and sports on Hamilton County. So I appreciate it. This is Perry Williams. Coach Buckley, thank you very much for taking time out to talk to us.
Absolutely, thank you.
Thank you.